Okay, Snow Walker here. I'm working on the arrows. So what I've done, I've completed 3 arrows. Okay, and these arrows were bare shaft tested, and so I had cut them to the right length to where they started flying right. Put on fletchings. I crusted it, and then I put on fletchings and points and all that. So that's where I'm at right now, just to make sure I bare shaft tested 3 arrows, because you don't know if one's, a good representative sample or not. So I grabbed 3 of them, and I think that worked out pretty good. So all 3 of them really fly really well. So I'm gonna make all my arrows this length. So that's where I'm at right now. And I have an arrow cutting jig. So there's a jig for everything with archery, it seems like. This is really kind of not necessary, but I have one. And Martin Archery. So that's the end that slides. It's adjustable in length. This is the end, the cutoff end, where the little knife. It actually has teeth on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Really fine teeth. I think this could be used for cutting carbon fiber arrows, and I think that's really probably what it's meant for. But it works for cedar shafts as well. I have the length figured out that I want. I just grab an arrow and I stick it in there, butt it up into the stopper there. This actually is a little clamp, clamps it in place, slides into a slot here, and then you go to cutting. There it is. It's a perfect cut. Of course, like I said, this is kind of unnecessary. There's a lot of different ways you can cut arrows, but if they were carbon fiber arrows, this would be a great way to do it. This is just such a fine tooth saw. I've never even seen such a fine tooth saw. I don't even know how many teeth per inch. It's got to be 100 teeth per inch or close to it. It's almost not even a saw. So, but it works good. And that's this portion. I'm just going to go through and cut them all, and then I'll grind the points with that grinding jig that I have outside. Put the points on, and I'll do a video on all that next, or continue this video actually. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking the nocks and some sandpaper I rolled up, and I like to get these nocks, the insides of them that are smooth, just kind of scratch them up a little bit so that gives the glue something to grab onto. These things are really slippery, and that's about all I do. Just help them stay on the arrow. I think it helps. Anything helps. I use Duco. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but all the old timers pronounce it Duco. Duco cement. Multi-purpose. Been around for a long time. It's also what I use to put the fletchings on. As far as the points on the shafts, I use ferrolite. I just heat it up on the stove, and I'll show how to do that in a little bit. But that's nice because when you want to change out your points to go to let's say a broadhead, from a target point to a broadhead, you simply heat it up and it loosens out, and then just reheat it, heat the point, and then go ahead and put it on there, and it's easy to change out. Whereas, if you used Duco cement, you're not changing it out unless you heat it up, but then you have to probably don't have to deal with it. I'm not even sure if heating it up will change it out or not. I don't really know. I just use ferrolite, but that's a little bit later. Okay. So what you do is you get some of that Duco cement on there, put on quite a bit, take the nock and kind of twist it on back and forth. I got a little extra, I scoop it in. And then what I do is I look for the chevrons. There's a chevron right there. Should be one on the opposite side. I don't know if this is showing up very well or not, but there is. There's one there. Turn on the light. There you can see the chevron. There's another one on the opposite side. So I'll put my thumb on the chevron. Okay. That's the top of the arrow. And then I turn the nock so that the string is coming down from the top and the bottom of the arrow, which is where the chevron is, which means that when this is in the bow like this, it means the grain is running horizontal. That's what you want. That's how I spined them, and that's how these arrows are set up to fly. 9 crested shafts. 3 that are done. Points, I don't have any points on these ones yet. They're going to be some beautiful arrows. These are all done. Getting there, getting close. They're drying by the fireplace, or wood stove, I should say. Okay, Snow Walker here. Now I'm coming to the portion of the film where I fletch the arrows. I have these turkey feathers that have been split already. I buy them split. They're in bulk. And I got a fletching jig. I have a ruler, Duco cement, the scissors, marker. So what I do is I'm making 4-inch fletchings, okay? So I put them on the ruler here, make a mark at 4 inches, and I like to cut with the grain. You know, don't cut this way. See the way the feathers are. I don't know what they're called. You cut with them. Don't cut this way, obviously. And there it is. So grab an arrow. And these nocks, I don't know if you can see, they have a little ridge on them. That ridge is where I put the cock feather. Okay? So I can feel it. You know, if I was to shoot in the dark or something, I would know that the cock feather goes out on these. And so I'm not going to do that one. I'm doing one of the other ones. There's a little groove that fits in. Then I have these marked. These are marked so that they're all going to be consistently the same. When I did the cresting on this arrow, I have a silver line right where I wanted these to go, okay? And that mark is right here. So you put your feather in there, in the clamp. You open it up. Take some Duco cement. The old timers call this Duco. I've heard it pronounced Ducko. I'm going to go with what the old timers say, Duco. Put a bead on there. Okay. Put it right in the old slot. There it goes. Voila. I got 1, 2. I'm going to do the third one now. These ones have already been marked. Cut it off. There's right fletchings, jigs, and there's left fletching jigs. And there's straight ones. This is a straight one. The arrows, as you can see, the feathers, they're right wing or left wing, depending on how they, you can't mix the two, obviously. A right wing will spin it one way, a left wing will spin another. I don't need to really put, some of these jigs will be really canted quite a bit. I just go with the straight one, and I put these on, and the feather does its own thing. It spins the arrow. So they work just fine. I suppose if I had a really small feather, I could put one of those canted clamps on there. I have a bunch of those. I have different clamps, left and right, and I could put one on that would really get a tight spin, and you could cut this smaller, but I don't need to do that. There's no reason. So these work fine. Grab the next one there. Do the same thing. Put it on. And I got it in the clamp. This cement has been used probably since, I don't know, the 50s or 60s. It's old. It's also what you put the nocks on with. Works really good. Grab another one. I'm putting all these, this little ridge that's on the nock, I'm putting them all in the same spot. That way, next time I turn them, I'll be ready to do it. Is that right? No, this one's not right. Okay. I'll get it. There we go. There we go. Put it in the slot, make sure it's on there good. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one. I'll turn it, do this one, turn it, then I'll do the cock feather. Then what I'll do, I'll just go right down the line. By the time I'm over here, this one should be ready. That's how fast this glue dries. And then you just pull it off, turn the arrow. It's whatever it is, 1/3 turn, and then I just keep going. And it's kind of a mass production thing. So I'll be done with these. They'll have these great big feathers on them. Then I'll put them on a burner, and I just stick it in there, and I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. Okay, this is a feather burner. That's a an element, red hot. I just plugged it in. The young feather burner. Right now, what you got is a bunch of flu-flus. You can custom make these. I have a bunch of different elements. You can bend them around and get different shapes, which is kind of fun. It's better than buying just parabolic or shield or whatever, banana. You make your own. You just stick it in there. There you got it. Slick, huh? Pretty nifty. Definitely do this outside. Man, does it stink. There's another one. That's how you do it. Pretty darn fun, huh? It's just that easy. pretty fast. Cheapest way to do it. Feathers are real expensive right now. And if you got somebody who hunts turkeys and they don't mind giving you the wings, do it yourself. Or if you have somebody who's raising them, same thing. When they go to cut them up in the fall, just get some feathers from them. There you go. It's just that fast. Pretty darn neat, real easy. Next, I'll do points. Okay, installing points. So I got a few things here. Got a piece of metal, in this case a frying pan. Got a wet, damp cloth. Denatured alcohol burner. Pair of pliers. Your points. A lot of points. You want to have the same weight of points. These are 125 grains. A few different ways to do this, okay? Get that out of the way. We also need ferrolite, stick glue, okay? A couple different ways to do this. So you heat up the stick glue, the ferrolite. Denatured alcohol, I'm not sure exactly why. I think it had something to do with it doesn't put off any carbon or emit, things that do not stick. You just put a little bit on there. It's kind of sticky. You get that on there. Grab your point. Get it good and hot. Probably good enough. Nope, not good enough. Gotta heat it up a little more. So this ferrolite's good glue. Good glue. What it does is you reactivate it. Like say I have a target point on, like I have now, and let's say I don't want that target point on there. I want to change it to a hunting point. You don't have to reapply the glue. Just the glue that's on the arrow is good enough. And you just heat it up, take it off, and put on the target point. So I'm putting downward pressure on it now. I take something wet and cool. Hold it on there for a little bit for it to cool down. There we got it. There's a point. Slightly warm. That's one way to do it. Here's another way to do it. Got a Bic lighter. Hold the arrow under your arm. Heat up the ferrolite. Smear some on there. Grab the point. Heat it up. You can do this out in the field if you want. Like I say, it's easy. You want to change out points, no big deal. Once the point is on your arrow, you want to change it out. Just go through this process. Just reheat it up. And twist it so it comes off. And put on a target point or whatever it may be you're going to put on, a blunt, whatever it is. A lot of people are worried about changing points out on these. I don't know why. They think you have to have a screw-in point. They think everything is based off the compounds. You don't need to do that. And you want to turn it when you get it on. You want to do exactly what I'm doing. You want to turn it. Hold it down. Cool it off while you have downward pressure. Okay. If there's any excess glue, get it off of there. And I'm going to show you a third way to do this. Okay. This is the method I actually really prefer. If you have this type of stove, set that on there. Heat up some glue. Glue's starting to get pretty short. It's hot. Can't hold it unless I'm holding it, you know, what I'm doing there. Get a little glue on there, a little ferrite goes a long ways. Grab it. Do like I was doing before. Okay. Should have kept my downward pressure on it. Okay, there we go. There you go. This one's got a little bit of excess glue on it. I'm going to clean off the glue. If you have a little excess on it, just take a knife, or when it's still a little goopy like this, you can take a fingernail, clean it off. That's 3 different ways to do it. It's no big deal. Pretty easy. Go back to the table here. Yeah, and if you want to change out a broadhead, we've got a broadhead. Grab yourself a broadhead. Okay. Bic lighter. If you have a Leatherman or a Gerber or something, that's all you gotta do. You can see this okay? Yeah, it'll work right here. Okay. So, show you how easy this is. If you buy a crick or something, get some water, get a wet cloth. Go ahead and heat one of these up. Heat up your target point. Pull it off. Okay. Grab your broadhead. Heat that up. A Bic lighter does seem to put some carbon on it. I don't know, carbon, a black soot. I don't know if it's carbon, I don't know what it is. And it wipes right off though. But you just want to get this hot enough so you can adhere it. You don't need to reapply the glue. There's enough glue on the shaft already. And if you do this enough time, there'll actually be a little bit of glue inside of the broadhead or the target point as well. Like I say, a little bit of that ferrite goes a long ways. That's the same stick I've had for I don't know how many years. Put it on the way you desire it. Yeah, get it situated. I like having my points going up and down. I mean, not sideways, so when it's on the bow, the blades are running up and down, is what I'm trying to say. There it is. I just changed it out. So, for some reason, people are concerned. They think they have to have screw-in points. Well, no, you don't. That works great. Okay, next step, shoot your arrows.